Hiya, my name's Sanah. I am a poet and spoken word artist, and I'm going to give you some tips on how to start writing a poem.
Am I? I don't know really.
Poetry is becoming more popular. It's a great way of expressing how you feel and coping with whatever is going on for you. So I guess the starting point is thinking about what you want to say. So it might be writing about how you're feeling currently in the moment, or even writing about where you want to be. You could also write about relationships, so with your friends or family. You could also use writing as a distraction, so picking quite a neutral object to write about that and to describe it. So another idea could be writing a poem to yourself. I think it's quite hard to be kind and loving to yourself, so poetry can help. So step 2 would be getting pen to paper. And one of the ways that you can start to do that is using a technique called free writing. And that is just taking one word and blocking out a space of maybe 5 minutes. Just literally not lift your pen from the paper to see what comes out of it. So for example, with something like the word self-love, you might use that as a starting point. I find it helpful to draw on the 5 senses. Instead of just saying getting in a bath, you might be thinking about the kind of crushing of lavender in your hands and the smell of lavender. Or instead of going for a run, the sound of your trainers on tarmac. You know, those kind of things that just make things a bit more easier to kind of grasp and get a visual sense of. An act of self-care for me personally is lighting candles. So I've written, light those candles, let that sizzling of wick whisper a reminder for you to breathe in this light. So when revising content and kind of going back through your poetry, it's important to remember it doesn't have to be perfect. It's really for yourself and a representation of your raw feeling or whatever it is that you're trying to go for, it's for yourself. So be kind to yourself. If you're getting writer's block, there's lots of things that you can do. So you can go to Childline's poetry message board where there are other people to talk to, where you can bounce ideas off with and draw inspiration from. I found it helpful reading other artists and reading different bits of poetry, and sometimes taking a line that you like from a different poem as inspiration to write something for yourself. Sometimes it's important to take a bit of space from the writing environment and going for a walk, listening to music. So there's lots of things that you can do with your final piece when it's finished. There's something very cathartic about kind of just getting it down. So you don't necessarily have to show it to anybody. There's also something very cathartic about performing it, being able to get on stage and share your poetry with a wider audience. If you feel confident and comfortable to do that, and it's a safe enough environment for you to do that if it's not too personal. Another thing that you can do is just share it with one person, and that can either be in written form or you can read it to somebody as a way of offloading whatever it is that's on your chest that you're writing about with someone else who's trusted and safe to talk to. Thank you so much for watching. Yeah, I hope you enjoy your process of writing, and happy World Poetry Day.